gaps in this Harrosh lineup. You can always send the Darkseer mid. Darkseer is a capable mid hero, but Queen of Pain not the easiest matchup for that. Gyrocopter actually going to cop a ban from GoG. I like this. I think Gyrocopter does do well in the mid lane, even against the Queen of Pain. You can use the flat cannon for harass. You can last hit pretty well. Queen of Pain can't really go on you because of the rocket barrage, so this ban is a really smart ban coming out from GoG. And something which I imagine the Singaporean team, Harrosh, do like to use. So something worth banning out. Also saying that can be run as that secondary support, so definitely worthwhile as far as the ban goes. And we're going to see the last couple of bans coming out now before we get ourselves into our 4th and 5th picks. Just a reminder, guys, this is the Armaggeddon Dota 2 Asia Grand Slam held in Singapore. We're down here at the Marina Bay Sands Convention Center. Come on down if you live in Singapore. You can say hi to me, say hi to the players. And big thanks to Armaggeddon for putting this on. Big thanks to Rapture who are here producing the stream. And of course, I am Gods from Beyond the Summit casting all these games. And really looking forward to what this tournament has to offer. We've got 4 days of action, so you can't come down today, can't come down tomorrow. Well, you've got the weekend. No excuses there. We're going through all the way through to Sunday. It's a double elimination bracket with, I believe, 14 teams. 2 of the teams couldn't make the journey, but we've got, I think, 14 teams here in our double elimination bracket. And this is one of our first round games here. GoG, the only representative from Myanmar. Harrosh, one of 2 Singaporean representatives. They've also first departure coming from Singapore. Just to correct you, we've actually got 12 teams who've flown in here, not 14. Sorry about that. But yeah, Harrosh, one of 2 teams coming in from Singapore, and they're now up against GoG with their 4th pick here. What do they want to grab here? They do like that solo mid hero. That's where we see the TA getting banned. Maybe we look at something like a Puck, something like the Fairy Dragon to run in that mid lane up against the Queen of Pain and just have that sort of even 1v1 matchup trade going on there. For GoG, well, they're obviously not too worried about it. They prefer to ban the TA as well as Gyrocopter. TA, something these Singaporean teams do like to use quite frequently. So definitely worthwhile as far as the ban goes, as we do look at the 4th pick coming up soon. Starting to get into that reserve time. So Harrosh, not too sure what they want. Now they know Naga Siren. Wow, so they're going to get themselves another sort of tanky frontline carry here. They've already got themselves the Chaos Knight, so now they've got a second one with the Naga Siren. That means one of those is going towards the mid lane. We look at the Wisp CK maybe at mid lane, or we see the Naga Siren going towards the mid lane. But most likely it looks like we see Wisp CK at mid, Naga Siren with one other support here in that safe lane. Darkseer, well, he fills into that off lane just perfectly. It's sort of his home. It's where he always just loves to go. Occasionally seen at the mid lane, but Darkseer in the off lane, no surprises there. GoG are going to probably be expecting that. We'll have to see if they look to sort of react to this Naga Siren pick. Maybe they go offensive tri-lane. The fact that they're expecting dual lanes out of the Harrosh side could lead them to doing a different setup with their own lanes. They can just run a solo hero up against the Darkseer, run an offensive tri-lane, have a safe solo in the mid lane, which can be a Queen of Pain. Queen of Pain can just stay alive against the Wisp CK, can do his best just to basically get whatever last hits you can, get whatever levels you can, and just Wisp CK aren't going to be getting the same XP. Being in that dual lane, you're not getting the same XP as a solo Queen of Pain. So if GoG want to get offensive with this, they definitely can. And we'll see with this 4th pick. If they get sort of a strong setup support hero, something with a stun or with a lot of burst damage, something like a Lina or a Leshrac, then maybe we look at the offensive tri-lane. If they get something more safe, something a bit more defensive, like it maybe a Chen to go in the jungle, then we're looking at a safe lane Lifestealer and Disruptor, Chen or something in the jungle, and playing a much more safe style of play. They pick up an Earthshaker. Wow, have not seen an Earthshaker in quite some time. But definitely a strong secondary support, something which can be used as a good setup. A good defensive one at that as well. If you're worried about Wisp and CK getting too offensive, going on heroes like Lifestealer, Queen of Pain, well, Earthshaker just needs to sit back, drop the fissure, and then you've got that defensive capability. So definitely worth a pick here, but the issue is always going to be if Wisp relocates in the right place, you can focus down that Earthshaker right off the bat really quickly. Last pick now comes in. It's going to be a Rubik. So Harrosh round things off with a support Rubik. They've got the 2 supports in the Rubik and Wisp, and they've also got the 2 farmers with Chaos Knight as well as Naga Siren. So a different style of draft that we haven't seen much of yet here in Singapore. And then you've got the Darkseer. Harrosh, they've got their lineup. GoG need their last pick now. They've only got themselves a little bit of extra time here, so they're going to have to be pretty quick about this one, as it does look like they need another solo hero. Something most likely going to that side lane. You've got the 2 supports, you've got your farmer, you've got a Queen of Pain. Most likely going towards the mid lane. You need another solo. Bounty Hunter's there if you want some of that traditional offlane heroes. Heroes like Windrunner's there as well. So maybe we're looking at the Windrunner here for this last pick for GoG. They've only got themselves 17 seconds now, so they're really going to have to be coming out with something soon, as we are going to get into our second match of today. It's GoG from Myanmar up against the Singaporean Harrosh here at the Armaggeddon Dota 2 Asia Grand Slam. I'm God, and it's going to be a clockwork. Well, it's an offlane hero, and it's not one I was expecting, but it works pretty well. The cogs work as a nice little, I mean, you have melee heroes coming in at you. You just go pop the cogs, it pushes them back. Both Naga Siren as well as CK, very mana-dependent heroes, both melee. If they're trying to gank into cogs, it's not going to end well. So I definitely think Clockwork as a defensive offlane hero does work pretty well with this lineup for GoG. And on top of that, you've got a nice initiation, something which you can put the Lifestealer in. When you've got the Lifestealer, you've always got to think, who can you infest into? Can you get something like a Blinking Bat Rider? Have something like a Queen of Pain, which you have got. But now you've also got a hook shot. Clockwork can hook on in, and then Lifestealer can pop on out. If you get someone trapped in the cogs with Lifestealer as well as Clockwork, they are going to drop very, very fast. So there's a lot of good synergy with this GoG lineup, as we're now going to get things underway.
5 seconds remaining.
As mentioned, guys, to those of you on the live stream, the players here in Singapore can hear us, so there's only so much that can be said. Stuff happening in Fog of War, stuff such as which lane heroes are going to, cannot be revealed until it's visible for both teams. Such is the way of land casting here with Dota, but it's all to make sure that you guys can get a proper land casting experience here from Singapore, as we are going to see GoG. We've got Ikado playing the Disruptor, we've got Heaven playing the Earthshaker, Joku playing the Queen of Pain, Lifestealer in the hands of Real, and War. He's going to be handling that Clockwork, as mentioned, that likely side lane solo. Over on the Dire side, we have got Harrosh, the Singaporean team, Draken playing the Chaos Knight, we've got Fisher playing the Darkseer, Wisp in the hands of the captain, Mr. Kyo, Powerhouse playing the Naga Siren, and then finally, King, also known as Alanta, playing the Rubik, and in the support roles. We'll have to see how they look to lane this, where they look to send some of these heroes. As guessed earlier, maybe a Wisp CK mid. It does look like we see dual lanes coming out from the Dire side, from the Singaporeans, just because of the nature of having both CK and Naga Siren. Both heroes want a hero to support them. They don't want to be left on their own in a solo lane. So we'll have to see where they look to lane them, where they look to put them. Maybe they send Darkseer solo mid and run the 2 dual lanes in the side lanes, but it's going to be very risky. Going dual lane up against the Lifestealer is a very tough lane, as we will see the lanes coming out in just a second. Creep waves are about to spawn. The team's just using this early time just to do some scouting, try find out what their opponent's lanes are, try get some early, whether it's lane wards up, river wards up to scout runes, or maybe just something to block these pools. It's something which can be quite risky, but if you block these pools, it's definitely a nice early game advantage that you can get from that. The two teams now moving on out here. Mid lane is going to be Queen of Pain, Joku up against the Chaos Knight of Draken. No Wisp in sight just yet. Earthshaker is there though. He's popping his head out. GoG, Heaven, not going to look for any sort of engagement yet. CK just too damn tanky. Having a Stout Shield as well as Salves and Tangos. No real chance to get a kill here. I think they're expecting Wisp to maybe be in the neighborhood, and they're just sort of worrying about when he might come out. Over in the bottom lane, we've got Real playing the Lifestealer. He's going to be free farming there. Disruptor, he's a support, and he's most likely looking to support Real at bottom lane and also use some of these pools. Top lane, it's the off laner, the Clockwork. He's up against the Naga Siren, the farming Naga Siren of Powerhouse. And then it leaves the 2 supports for the Harrosh team. You've got King on Rubik, Wisp played by Mr. Kyo. Neither really showing themselves on the map yet. King will reveal himself at top lane, but Wisp just trying to stay in this jungle, stay in fog as long as possible, and Darkseer is completely abandoned bottom lane. The Radiant team are like, where's this Darkseer? He's not at bottom lane, and there's only really one other place he can be, and that's in this jungle. That's somewhere where you can get levels as a Darkseer. If you think it's too dangerous to go in the off lane, you go into that jungle right from the start, and you can get some decent levels and farm there. And that's just what we're looking at him doing here. Mid lane, it's actually a 1v1 matchup. Chaos Knight's up against the Queen of Pain in a 1v1 matchup. This is tough for Draken. He's spent all his starting gold. He's not going to be looking at a fast bottle. And as a result, this is going to be a tough lane of constant harass. Actually going to use a Reality Rift. Just brings Joku back into a creep wave. Shadow Strike going to be dropped on Draken as well. But right now, just a couple blows being traded. Joku as well as Draken just trying to set the tempo of this mid lane early on. Draken saying, I'm not going to take anything from you. You may be a Queen of Pain, but I'll fight you head on if I have to. Top lane, it looks like Clockwork forced out of the lane completely. Got very, very low there. The incoming gank potential from a Wisp Rubik is very, very dangerous for Clockwork. Got to use that cog defensively, and he's gone for the rocket flare level 1, which is going to make it really hard to avoid some of these ganks. And you've got the cogs, you can just pop it, and it forces Naga Siren back. You can't just go in onto those cogs. Once you get close enough, you can get trapped inside, which is going to be good for you if you're Naga Siren. But if you get caught outside, you don't want to have your mana burn. Oh, Queen of Pain gets jumped on at mid lane. There's a Chaos Bot. It catches up to Joku, but it's only a 1 second stun. He needed either 2 or 3 seconds there, and that could have been a kill. Queen of Pain forced the bottle up here as ES comes in with a fissure as well as Disruptor. So GoG really rotating a lot of heroes early on in the game. This gives space for Darkseer to come back bottom. Gets himself some laning experience as well as farm, and Darkseer now up to level 4, so a lot of experience and also some decent farm going the way of the Darkseer here at bottom lane. The supports for GoG still lingering around this mid lane, looking to help keep this Queen of Pain as safe as possible. And the dual lane, the two best friends, the Chaos Knight and the Wisp, they're finally united. Wisp spent some time in the top lane as well as in the jungle, but now hitting level 2, has decided to team up with this Chaos Knight. Also because Chaos Knight's now level 4. And ES still just lingering around, knowing that this Wisp CK will be looking for an engagement any time now. They're looking to go in. Reality Rift into a Wisp tether. No stun though. Fissure is there as well. The Queen of Pain did have the blink out. And wow, actually this Fissure may have actually blocked off Draken a bit here. He needs to be careful. He has got a Chaos Ball. He didn't use it in that engagement, but Joku, oh, is he going to blink in here? Careers there, bringing some items. I believe a bottle. Yeah, looks like it's a bottle for the two heroes at mid lane. And this is the beauty of the Wisp. You can share this HP regen. Draken needs it, as does Mr. Keo, and they just share it out. Unfortunately, it's not healing up Draken when you've got full HP as Wisp. You have to be missing HP, otherwise it won't heal. Oh, they want this bottom rune. They want to prevent Queen of Pain. They will manage to zone him out of this. Wisp takes the invis rune. Draken's still a bit low on HP. He would have loved to use that HP himself, but still sitting on about 500 HP here. Wisp, as said, you can't heal up a tethered unit unless you're missing HP yourself. Top lane, we've still got the Naga Siren farming. But it's Lifestealer. He's the one who's sort of leading the farm charts here. Real at bottom lane, uncontested free farm. Even with his supports leaving him, he still managed to get basically, I imagine, what looks like 7-8 creeps a minute here. He's really farming well here in the bottom lane. And the supports for GoG, you've got ES who spent a lot of time protecting the Queen of Pain, and then you've got the Disruptor. He spent some time mid, some time bottom, as well as some time just using his pulls, trying to get some XP as well as farm for himself. War at top. He's only level 3. That's where he's sort of fallen behind the Darkseer. As far as levels goes, he's 2 levels behind as an offlane hero. He is getting some XP, some farm though. Throws rockets from afar, and they can't really go on him because of those cogs. Oh, danger, danger. Telekinesis. They're going to follow it up with a Naga Siren. There's a tidal rip, and now Wisp goes flying, and this is your first blood. Clockwork goes down the top lane. Straightforward rotation coming from the Wisp. Mr. Keo sets up the first blood at top lane, and GoG find themselves down from the early game. Kill being given up at top. Only 5.5. Quite a late first blood, if anything. And now we'll have to see where GoG look to strike back. Can they find those kills in other lanes? Lifestealer at the bottom lane would love to find himself with some kills. He's had a lot of fun, but he hasn't been able to get his team involved in too many kills or too much of the action just yet. Disruptor is there. And that's really where you can maybe find the Darkseer. He tries to surge away. If you can bring him back in with the Glips, you'll be looking pretty good. Real at the bottom lane. Still farming away. Fissure on the Darkseer. Well, he's got himself level 5, approaching that level 6 mark, and it's up to, well, GoG. They've got to really stabilize. They can't afford to be giving up too many kills to this aggressive Wisp CK once they hit level 6. And even until then, you've got to worry about the Naga Siren, Rubik. If they team up with the Wisp, like we saw earlier, oh, it's mid lane. Heaven, the ES, caught out there. And elsewhere, Darkseer got a kill at bottom lane. They got the kill on the Disruptor at bottom lane, so action at both mid as well as bottom. Earthshaker goes down at mid. Queen of Pain actually TP'd bottom, I want to say. They killed the Darkseer, but it's at the cost of the Disruptor's life. And now, well, they give up a kill, but they get the Darkseer in return. And it's also Lifestealer who picks up the kill, picks himself up in Midas, and now have a lot of farm to his name. Oh, Draken needs to be careful, taking a lot of damage at mid lane. He's got himself up to level 6 now, Queen of Pain. Doesn't have all that much mana to start using his combo, but he's going to be hoping to get himself a room. Maybe even look to do a bit of bottle crowing here to make sure that he can sustain himself in this middle lane. Top lane, we've still got War, still struggling a bit to get levels and farm. Complete opposite of the Darkseer bottom lane, who's hit level 6, has his Soul Ring, and is looking at Tranquil Boots somewhere in the near future. You see Clockwork, how he's going to look to react to this. He's got 2 points in the rocket plan now, so going for a more farm-oriented build. As this top lane so far has not received any pressure whatsoever. King going to walk right into Earthshaker, great vision block. King is just caught in no man's land. There's no way out for him. Disruptor picks up the kill off top lane, and now Nagasarn going to look for a revenge kill because Draken, he's TP'd in. He's level 6 as well. He's going to do a lot of damage here, especially when teamed up with a Wisp. Wisp gives him the extra movement speed. Caught in the Disruptor kinetic field though. War does get snared up, and now he's on the run. Darkseer Iron Shell brings him back in closer and finishes off the kill. They even brought Darkseer top. I don't think they needed him, but better safe than sorry. Ensures they get some additional kills. Oh, Queen of Pain wants his haste rune. We'll get it as well. And walks right into 3 here. Oh, is there enough chain stun? Tether's just a 1 second stun. Queen of Pain, luckily that was a haste rune, and luckily, more so, that was just a 1 second stun. 2 second stun, that's a dead Queen of Pain. Queen of Pain wants to go back in though, thinking about it. Does have mana from that bottling up. And could look to pop the ultimate as well as a Scream, do a lot of instant damage, especially on this Wiz, who's sitting on 600 HP right now. Some very squishy potential targets over on the Harrosh side.
Dire's bottom tower is under
Real at bottom on the Lifestealer. Well, he has not been touched the entire game, and the CS is there to show for it. Not to mention the fact he's gone for this Midas is going to really accelerate him towards that late game carry status. The Dire team may have 2 carries in the Nagasarn as Chaos Knight, but neither farming anywhere near as good as this Lifestealer. And then you've got the Queen of Pain, who may not be a carry or tanky type hero like those other 3, but Queen of Pain can do a lot of damage, act as sort of a semi-carry, an additional source of DPS. Combine that with the Lifestealer and, well, GoG have themselves a strong mid to late game composition. And we're not even looking at just a late game Lifestealer. With the way Lifestealer's farming, can just pick up an armlet and then look to get involved in some of these mid game team fights. Oh, Draken though, this is what Harrosh want to do. Get aggressive. Oh, CK, actually, this is the glimpse. The power of this Disruptor, nice little counter, but it's not going to last for long enough. Draken's still in the chase here. Once Ikedo is going to try to deny himself to these Ancients, does not succeed in doing so. Queen of Pain elsewhere picks up the Rubik though. It looks like Joku managed to find a bit of a kill in the mid lane. Sonic Wave as well as the Scream being used. Fissure going to come in now. They want to go for some additional kills here. War caught out right in front of Draken, but Draken's just trying to fight his way out of this one. He's not going to live. He knows it. He just wants to get this Clockwork. Clockwork is ultimately the one who gets the kill from the high ground. 3 kills going to GoG. Great engagement mid. They only lose 1. They only lost the Disruptor, who, for them, it's a great trade. They give up 1 just to support here, and they get 3 in return. And the entire time they have Lifestealer farming off in their jungle, as well as using this bottom lane. They haven't really started pressuring towers yet, but when you're getting all these kills now, as well as basically out-farming your opponents with your hard carries, this is a really good position to be in for GoG. And, well, they were sort of, I'd say behind, but this gold graph has been so even for so long. Not much separating the 2 teams. And this is the one thing which Harrosh are trying to separate themselves with, this Wisp CK aggression. They want the Queen of Pain at mid lane. The Tether, the CK stun, not long enough. They're still chasing though. Joku, he has the second point in the blink, so it gives him a slightly shorter cooldown on that blink, and it does help him get away from Draken as well as Mr. Kyo. Oh, bottom. Yes, forced to use defensive fissure. Are we looking at a Wisp relocate? No, Wisp still not level 6 yet. And Lifestealer's going to turn this around. He pops the Rage. He's going in on King. Disruptor pops his kinetic field, and Nagasarn's going to get caught inside of this. Nagasarn does have the level 6 if we need it. Darkseer very, very low. He's trying to escape. Vacuum going to get popped here. Trying to help the Nagasarn. Nagasarn, I thought for a second out of mana, but no, had just enough mana. Oh, hook shot. Whoa, what a hook shot. Catches out the Nagasarn. Queen of Pain with the Shadow Strike damage finishes him off, and the damage is not done. They want Draken as well. Real still chasing. Draken tethered up, giving him some movement speed with the Queen of Pain Shadow Strike, providing additional slows, and Draken now in all sorts of trouble. There's a blink, there's a scream. Is there going to be enough damage? Actually, there's a... Oh! Disruptor brings back Draken, and Draken now going to try suicide himself, I believe. Can he succeed in doing so? The Stout Shield, it works against him. War finds him with the rocket, finishes off the kill. And another great engagement coming from GoG. Draken just unable to stay alive there, pulled back in by the Disruptor. Time and time again, this glimpse is paying off. Such a good skill to have against this Wisp CK.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
As now GoG, they just want to sort of stabilize a bit here. But as we are looking at a bit of a passage time, Whoop, bit of a passive time of farming for both these teams now after that fight. As bottom lane, Fisher gets fissured literally. And it is going to be Real, not looking to fully engage on him, just backs things off for the time being. Oh, top lane. War caught out in no man's land. He's going to get him snared up. Is there going to be enough damage? Looks like he drops a hook shot just for some additional stun here, but that's not going to save him. There's enough damage coming out from Nagasiren as well as the Rubik, and that's an easy, straightforward kill going their way. Possibly even a tier 1 tower to follow. Elsewhere, Wisp has hit level 6 now. We'll be looking at that relocate. If they can find a hero, that's where they want to get aggressive. Start isolating heroes on the map. Get kill after kill. Start snowballing out of control. Real in his own jungle. Where is his items? Where's his armlet? Whoa. He's picked up something. As we see Nagasiren with a Blade of Alacrity. And this is Nagasiren who's getting a lot of farm at this top lane. As Clockwork TP's back in, but it looks like things are quiet right now. We'll take another quick look at that last kill, as that was a pretty important kill going the way of the Nagasiren, who had started to fall in behind. And, well, Clockwork a last-ditch effort there, dropping the hook shot, but that does not keep him alive, unfortunately. And a kill going the way of the Nagasiren, a Nagasiren who was starting to fall behind, at least in terms of farm. Comparing this lifesteal to the Nagasiren is not a pretty sight, but getting a kill like that slows down the Clockwork's farm. And oh, bottom lane. They found the lifestealer. The Wisp CK. They're now getting active. This is the level 6 Wisp. The power of it goes back towards mid lane now. Uh-oh, they're going to walk right into an Earthshaker. He was camped out in no man's land. I believe maybe even trying to pop up a fissure there, and it's not going to really pay off for him. They lose 2 more. Queen of Pain as well as Earthshaker. Double kill to King, and they want a third. Can King get himself a triple kill? Disruptors on the run. They need to get another knockdown. They need either a telekinesis, maybe a surge. Darkseid just going to do some manual blocking here. And Chaos Knight Draken finished up the kill. A 4-hero kill sweep going to Harrosh at the mid lane. And, well, it's only Clockwork who's nowhere to be seen. He's a top lane trying to fight his way out of this Nagasiren. Hookshot's there. Unfortunately, there's a magic wand. Keeps Nagasiren alive. Oh, Clockwork. He may just get this kill. Oh, no. The creeps finish him off. And Nagasiren, 40 HP, survives. Absolute hilarity ensues at top lane. And there's your 5-hero complete team wipe. It happens in 2 different lanes. 4 at mid, 1 at top. Nagasiren baits out the Clockwork using that magic wand. Had the heal waiting. Well, now GoG need to be careful. That's a lot of kills in quick succession they've given up, and that's something where I mentioned the snowball. It's going to keep on happening. When you've got this Wisp, every time relocates up, Wisp and CK are going to be looking for engagement. And for Harrosh, they don't have to go for this late game carry potential when they can just dominate the mid game. ES and Disruptor at mid lane, backing up this Queen of Pain, a hero who's really need constant protection. May just get a tier 1 tower with the help of this protection. Uh-oh. Glip being popped. They want to defend this ES. Defensive fissure, and it's only on the sidelines. They've called out Lifestealer. Oh, with CK, they want to try to bring down Lifestealer. They haven't got enough damage to do so in Lifestealer. Real going to turn things around. He's gone for this Sange build. Definitely would have liked to see maybe an armlet here, but it doesn't really matter. He buys time for his team, who take out Darkseid as well as Rubik. 2 kills for GoG, so they do strike back. They also get a tier 1 tower out of this. Joku finishes that off, and look at this build coming out from him. The melee damage is proving to be too much, so he goes for a Ghost Scepter. Oh, with CK, they're at it again. This time they put out War of the Clockwork. Can he get off the cogs? Doesn't look like he's going to be able to do so, and Real now in the middle of things. Wants Draken, Queen of Pain, taking a lot of damage. Ghost Scepter gets popped, keeps him alive. Draken now, he's on the run perhaps. Actually, he's going to try to fight his way out of this one. Real brings down the Chaos Knight, trying to move on to the next target. Queen of Pain, Invis, screams out of this one. Nagasiren forced to pop the ultimate, and doesn't have a TP here. On the run, can Queen of Pain blink and chase? Oh, there's a Disruptor. Oh my gosh, perfect glimpse. Brings back the Nagasiren. Great play coming out from Disruptor. Level 4 glimpse. A great counter to the Nagasiren sleep, and Mr. Kyo now going to get caught out as well. There's an open wound. There's a Queen of Pain blink. Oh, Mr. Kyo tethers out, finds King, finds safety more importantly, and it looks like things now going to settle for Harrosh, but they give away a couple kills there. And they don't get much in return, not to mention his kills on Chaos Knight as well as the Nagasiren. Queen of Pain forced to blink out at the mid lane. And Real, now with this Sange. I'll have to wait and see what he wants to go for with this item. Are we looking at a Sange and Yasha, or maybe just a Heaven's Halberd? Get the evasion, have the ability to deal with the Chaos Knight as well as the Naga Siren right-click damage. Anyways, things are... Both teams looking to just push out these lanes. We're going to have a quick replay of that last battle, as this was really just so crucial for both teams. Real being kept alive there, Lifestealed himself back up to life on Draken there. That was really the big issue. They couldn't bring down Lifesteal fast enough, and once he popped off the rage, he got kill after kill. We see him just bringing down one target, the Chaos Knight, and then this is the money shot. This is the Song of the Siren, and we're going to see, well, the glimpse back in coming from the Naga Siren shortly after. It was a fantastic glimpse. We didn't catch it there, but that glimpse really setting up the kill there, helping catch out the Naga Siren, and we're now going to see GoG looking to apply some additional pressure here. They want to go on top lane. They want to really apply some pressure here. Lifestealer once again in the front line. This Sanjin Yasha build. It's giving him survivability as well as movement speed. He's going to change targets onto Fisher. He gets fissured once again. Chaos Knight, 4-second stun onto the Earthshaker. Can they bring him down fast enough? Yes, they can. War also caught out. He's in no man's land. Needs to maybe drop a cogs here. Not going to do so. There's a Disruptor, ultimate Disruptor in the right place at the right time, as well as Rial. Rial brings down Chaos Knight once again. GoG cleaning up one by one. Queen of Pain's there, finishes off the Naga Siren, and now the Wisp. Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide, except under his own tower. Actually going to, well, he TP's home. I don't fancy your chances, Wisp. He's going back top, and he's not going back into a friendly opponent. There we go, Keo, no chance. No mercy coming out from the Lifestealer. And they'll follow this up with a tier 1 top tower.
Top tower is under attack.
And now we'll see this top tier 1 tower being pushed. We'll take another quick recap of that last battle here. As once again, it's Lifestealer. This Lifestealer just leading things off. He's too tanky. The Dire team just don't have the damage needed to bring him down. And as a result, when Lifestealer gets in there, the Sanjin Yasha gives him the movement speed he needs to basically bring down hero by hero. Queen of Pain, Joku, the Ghost Scepter gives him some survivability as well, which provides him more time to do more damage over the course of the battle. We see him there finishing off the Naga Siren. Wisp TP's home, but it's a dead Wisp, however you look at it. And GoG find themselves in another 4-for-1 trade here at the top lane. And they're now back even. 16 kills apiece as, well, Harrosh. They found one great team wipe earlier on in the mid-game, but now they're finding themselves getting counter-initiated on, and so much has come down to this Disruptor. Disruptor just having a fantastic game all in all. That last fight, it wasn't just the glimpse, it was also the Static Storm being so well placed. Darkseid couldn't really get off a good vacuum ultimate. And as a result, now, Harrosh need to be careful as they transition to late game. They need to make sure they're not falling behind too far as farm goes. Naga Siren has a Diffusal Blade level 1. And we're looking at Chaos Knight. Treads, Bracer. Wow, he is underfarmed. He's going to have that Drum of Endurance up fairly soon, but this is still a very underfarmed Chaos Knight. They do have the utility item up on the Darkseid. The mech is there, but all in all, Harrosh are starting to fall behind, I feel. And, well, the gold graph shows that a little bit. Also the XP, not in their favor. And the push is now going to begin on this bottom lane. Queen of Pain, Lifestealer show themselves, as well as many other GoG heroes. The entire team is here. They're going for a 5-man push, and for Harrosh they decide, okay, we're not defending this, let's go for a trade. Send 3 heroes top the push. Maybe they look to TP some in. They can use the Wisp relocate. They can have Naga Siren TP in as well. 1 hero needs to TP, then 2 heroes need to use the Wisp relocate. And uh-oh, here we go. Wisp CK coming from behind. They find the Earthshaker, the perfect hero to find. Well, CK, he gets glimpsed back. What a play from the Disruptor. Chaos Knight actually going to get completely taken out of this fight. Now Clockwork Hookshot completely misses. Disruptor, ultimate, Static Storm doing a lot of damage here. But even with the Chaos Knight being sent back, actually it was Wisp being sent back, sorry, Chaos Knight's in the middle of this. Draken doing a ton of damage, gets brought down by a Lifestealer though. Rial once again infests his way out to full HP. Queen of Pain's found a double kill. 4 kills going the way of GoG. They finish off the Wisp as well. The Disruptor play has just been phenomenal. He disrupts back the Wisp. I thought he was going to use on the Chaos Knight there, but using on the Wisp worked out just as well. 4-for-2 trade going the way of GoG. And now this tier 1 bottom tower looks open for the taking. Can GoG bring it down as well now?
Bottom tower is under attack.
As the tier 1 tower will go down, it looks like there's not going to be any rebuttal coming out from the side of the Dire side. And we'll take another quick look to clear up some of the confusion what happened in that last team fight here. The Song of the Siren led things off, but instantly got cancelled. Joku actually TP'd into the trees, or blinked into the trees, sorry. Fantastic decision, got himself out of danger while Disruptor bought time using that Static Storm, and then Chaos Knight just wasn't able to do enough on his own without the Wisp there giving him the tether. giving the additional stuns, couldn't do enough damage. Queen of Pain blinked back in from the tree. Some great positioning from Queen of Pain that fight, as well as really smart decision making coming out from the lifestealer, knew when to fight, knew when to hold his ground, and at the end of the day, GoG find themselves getting third. And I gotta say, didn't notice that Queen of Pain blink into the trees. He blinked over here as soon as that fight broke out, but comes back in after the Song of the Siren has worn off, after the sort of the initial engagement is over, just to make sure CK and Naga don't burst him down. Once he survived the initial onslaught, then he can come back in and just clean up one by one with the lifestealer as well as Clockwork providing the tanking on the front lines. Oh, King in a bit of trouble here, caught out by Real. There's a basher, there's a bash, and he will bring down King at the mid lane. Sanjin Yasha giving him the attack speed and movement speed. Basher helps lock some of these heroes in place. Now we're looking at an Abyssal Blade maybe as his next item, or possibly just look to maybe turn one of these other item slots into a DPS item, something like a Desolator. Harrosh, though, they're in a bit of trouble. This last few fights have really gone poorly for them, and they're starting to struggle as far as overall farm goes. Naga Siren at top lane, just trying to basically leave this tower for dead. Harrosh aren't going to try to defend it, they're just going to try to get some farm on some of these heroes in the side lanes. Draken at bottom, Naga Siren at top. They're not looking to try to take on GoG for the time being, and GoG are going to use this to take some of these towers uncontested. They can now look to go back and defend. They've got so many options open for them. They've got all the space in the world. They are controlling this map really, really well right now. And well, he is the choice for him. Harrosh, well, the Wiz CK, they haven't really found too many openings yet with this Reality Rift. So far, it's just worked out against them. They need to try to find a good one. The problem is, TPing into the Disruptor, you're going to get glimpsed back every single time. This Disruptor's been spot on every single fight, and we're looking at a mech coming up soon on him as well. Ooh, Naga Siren will scout out Roshan. The gig is up. Harrosh know what's going on here. Darkseer going to try to pop up a wall. Completely misses though. They're going to move on to the Darkseer. Fidget's there. Hit 2. Queen of Pain. Ultimate. Nails 2. They finish off Darkseer. They're going to get the Naga Siren as well. There's no sleep. Naga Siren got silenced up by the Disruptor ultimate. They're going to move on as the Chaos Knight doing a lot of damage. Does bring down Disruptor. Wiz is there with the tether. Clockwork. Too damn squishy here. Even with this Vanguard will be kept alive just narrowly. And oh man. Once again, it's Real with the help of Joku cleaning up heroes one by one. Chaos not going to buy back, but it looks like it's too late. They've already... Actually, did they kill off Wiz? Wiz TP'd home. The poison may finish him off. No, it won't. Chaos Knight's back, and wow, he ends the godlike streak of Queen of Pain. 735 gold going to the Naga Siren, and this fight has been turned around with a big, important buyback coming from Draken. Not to mention the Wiz. Wiz survived them at 5 HP there. And Roshan now going to be attempted by Harrosh. Huge, huge swing. What a decisive fight going the way of Harrosh. They really need that, and they may find more. They want Real. Real fighting his way through this, trying to bring down Draken. Can he do so? He does. Queen of Pain, Joku helps him out. They're going to go into Powerhouse, who does have a Song of the Siren. Maybe forced to use it, doesn't need to. Lifesteal actually going to get brought down here. The Purge cancelling the Ghost Scepter. Insnare to follow Joku. There's nowhere to run and hide. They bring down both Queen of Pain as well as Lifesteal, and this could look like a Roshan. Uncontested for Harrosh. Disruptor, the next target. Gonna get brought down as well. Glimpse not gonna do much to help him keep him alive, and oh man. GoG, well, they were doing so well that fight until the Chaos Knight brought back. Then things went from bad to worse very, very quickly. Roshan not being attempted just yet. As Clockwork firing off rockets, trying to see what's going on in the pit, but I think GoG looking to maybe contest this if Harrosh want to go for it. Rocket still being thrown in as they're going to go for it regardless. With Queen of Pain down, Lifestealer has brought back, and that's really the worry. If Lifestealer can get back into this fight, question is, where's the engagement coming from? Has he invested in someone? Clockwork, actually he's going to find the Darkseer. He was trying to hook into Roshan, but he hits the Darkseer who's sitting on the ramp here. And as a result, Roshan goes down uncontested. The Song of the Siren going to try to set up some kills here. It's Heaven, the Earthshaker, who does not stand a chance to the Draken. Draken CK with the help of the Wisp, finish him off, and now there's possibly going to be more bloodshed. War as well as Real. They're trying to fight their way through Powerhouse, who doesn't have the Aegis. It looks like it's Draken who picked up the Aegis there. He's got it. His dreads and drums trying to give him the movement speed, so he needs to survive it. Aegis is popped. They brings down the Clockwork to do so, and well, this is looking good for Harrosh. They may lose the Darkseer here, but they brought down 2 just for an Aegis. Darkseer. Oh, can he juke? Can he juke? Yes, he can. The scream came too late. Darkseer, what a play. Gets out of there, and now the rest of his team are looking to go to work on Real here. Real, though, He's going to just, he's just going to turn and fight. He does not give a hell about this Chaos Knight. Chaos Knight gets burst down, as well as Wisp. Rial just doing too much damage with this Sanjin Yasha Basher build. Not only the damage that you're getting from it, the lockdown. Having that bash when you're fighting a Chaos Knight head-on really helps you out. Provides him the extra stun you need to prevent Chaos Knight from basically using that Wisp tether movement speed to get out of the fight, to use that mobility of the Chaos Knight to his advantage. So really smart play coming out from GoG there. I really like this Lifestealer build, and well, we'll have to see how he transitions. What's going to be his next item? Is it the full Abyssal Blade, or do we look for something maybe like a Desolator for some additional just pure burst damage coming out from the Lifestealer? Well, things are settled out. Now we'll take another quick look at that last battle here, as this is the hook shot coming in from Clockwork. Unfortunately, he caught the high ground. Roshan was taken by the Chaos Knight, and as a result, well, GoG didn't look to be in a good position right off the get-go. Ensnare also on the Lifestealer. It really locked him in place, preventing him from doing as much damage as he wanted, but finally he locked down a target. He found Draken, and with the help of Queen of Pain, they brought down his Aegis. That was not the best glimpse for the Disruptor, but it did enough. And then Queen of Pain, well, found the Dark... Oh, no, found the Darkseer. Didn't actually kill the Darkseer, but really the action was happening further down, where they killed the Queen of Pain... They killed the Chaos Knight again. They killed off the Wisp. Sure, Darkseer survived, but it was a one fight for GoG. Killing Chaos Knight twice and killing off the Wisp. Now GoG, as mentioned, they're backed off. They're looking to just get themselves some more farm, take this more towards a late game oriented play. And when you've got a Lifestealer who's sort of leading this much as far as net worth goes, and it's not just Lifestealer, wow. The two, the carry and the semi-carry for this Radiant team, both with a lot of farm. I'm so surprised by the lack of farm on some of these heroes. Chaos Knight really struggling. He's got 5k net worth. This Wisp has more net worth than the Chaos Knight, and we're 29 minutes in this game. This is not a pretty sight for Draken.
Dire's bottom tower.
The rest of the Dire team also struggling overall. Naga Siren and Darkseer, the two leaders as far as farm goes, but neither of those anywhere near the Lifestealer or Queen of Pain. And look at this Queen of Pain's farm. Wow, picks up another big item. Aghanim Scepter, and he's starting to build that Sheepstick up. He's looking for a Sheepstick to come his way soon, and that's going to really help provide an additional lockdown. Way of killing off Naga Siren. You can focus down Naga Siren and not have to worry about the Song of the Siren being popped if you can sheep him up, if you can get that chain disable going. And with an Earthshaker there as well, there's plenty of ability to do so. Then you chuck on the Disruptor Ultimate, the Static Storm, and you've got a ton of lockdown and a ton of ability to just burst down heroes really easily in these big AoE team fights. It looks like both teams are going to just go for a bit of a push here. We look to trade bottom tier 2 for the top tier 2. Neither team wanting to defend their towers. Definitely the right decision from Harrosh. Taking a team fight here. Going into GoG when they've had such success. The Queen of Pain with this much farm, the Lifestealer as well. There's your Desolator. I mentioned also one or two choices. You go for the DPS with the Desolator, or you go for the Abyssal Blade for the extra lockdown. When there's no BKBs, Chaos Knight as well as Naga Siren, no BKBs, the Abyssal Blade less needed. Oh, Vacuum Wall. You preempted the GoG just going to retreat. It does catch 3 heroes here, but it's not really enough because there was no follow-up. No lockdown, no follow-up damage. And as a result, GoG just going to back off, wait for this to probably end. TP bottom, defend the bottom lane. Rial is there. Oh, they got me caught out. It looks like Earthshaker has been caught out. Disruptor trying to help keep him alive with that kinetic field, but problem is, Isha has been stolen by the Rubik. And King can use that for that long-range initiation. Uh-oh, Wisp CK. They're everywhere. Disruptor, can he hide? No, you can't. The Wisp Spirit scout him out. Ikaru just going to drop the ultimate for good measure here. He gets caught out. Draken gets himself a double kill here. And now we're back to dead even as far as kills go. 29 kills apiece. Oh, this could be sneaky. I don't think there's anything to spot this. GoG not going to make a go for it, but they've lost 2 already. They don't want to make that 3, that's for sure. Fisher the Darkseer, he's finished off his utility items. He's got both the mech as well as the pipe up now on him. The question is, where is the farm on the carry heroes? Chaos Knight and Naga Siren, both heroes falling behind and struggling. Naga Siren has his Diffusal Blade for some time, Yasha up as well, but Chaos Knight, treads and drums has been basically all he's had to offer for such a long time, and we're 32 minutes in. We'll take another quick look at this top lane engagement, as this was where, well, the poor Disruptor, he got caught out. It was just like a YOLO ultimate. Drop the ultimate and say, hey, I'm dead, guys, but I'll be back soon. GoG not going to be too worried about losing that Disruptor there, but they'll be more worried about the overall kills they lost at the top lane. They put a lot of effort into applying pressure there, and ultimately, they didn't really make much of it. They're going to try and make something of this bottom lane, though. They've got 3 heroes grouped up. Lifestealer, Earthshaker, Queen of Pain, as well as Clockwork now showing themselves here. They really want to push this. The one hero they don't have, it's the Disruptor. They really need him to be there as soon as possible, because his glimpses and his ultimates are so crucial in these team fights. But once again, it's the counter push coming from Harrosh. They're pushing mid, they're pushing top. They don't want to engage on the GoG in a team fight. They're just looking to go for this split push style of play. The question is, Rhea, doesn't get a bash. If he gets a bash there with that first hit, that's a different story. Neither mid nor top. GoG can't find any pickoffs in either lane. They do defend both lanes, don't let their tier 2 towers go down, as well as taking the bottom tier 2 tower. All of Harrosh's outer towers have now been taken down. Are we going to be looking at another Roche attempt soon as well? The last one did go to Harrosh about 6 or 7 minutes ago. GoG would love to be grabbing the next one for themselves, especially with all the map control they're getting. They're getting a lot of farm. They've got the superior item lead. Not to mention a slight level advantage as well, but it's getting smaller. The one thing where GoG have struggled, sure, they're very top and bottom heavy. Their 2 carries are leading the board by a long way, but look at these 2 supports. Earthshaker as well as Disruptor really underfarmed. Both heroes really struggling as far as, getting a Blink Dagger up on Earthshaker, not happening. 1-9 score for the Earthshaker. Compare that to the Lifestealer, who's 11, 2, and 12. He's looking at that Abyssal Blade coming up in about 400 or 500 gold, and then we're looking at Trouble Town for Harrosh. If they're fighting a Lifestealer with Sanjin Yasha, Deso, Midas Treads, and Abyssal Blade. When is Roshan coming back up as well? Both teams will definitely be keeping their eye on that, as well as dealing with this constant split push. Harrosh have finally found a way to basically unsettle GoG. They've had Naga Siren's illusions constantly pressuring this top lane. They succeed in getting the tier 2 tower, and its bottom lane also being pressured. It's constantly up near this tier 3 tower at bottom, so GoG really struggling to find the space to push. They're being kept, basically being toyed with in some ways. Even though they're ahead, they just don't have the map control or the mobility to get from lane to lane. And also they can't defend lanes with 1 or 2 heroes, because then the Wisp relocate. You bring in with CK and you catch those isolated heroes. That's really the beauty of a split push type lineup with a Wisp. Split push forces your opponents to defend multiple lanes. It forces them to divide their resources, and when your opponents are split up, Wisp is king. He just gets kill after kill if he uses that relocate well. And I think he's found a target. He's pinging. He's not going to make a go for it. I think he's too scared of who might be behind the Clockwork. Also worried about this next fight. This next fight potentially deciding who's going to get this next Roshan as well. With Roche respawning very, very soon. Neither team wants to be finding themselves in a bad team fight right now. Otherwise, well, Roche goes down, possibly tier 3 towers. Probably not looking at racks that soon, but definitely we need to see maybe Harrosh even having a couple buybacks up their sleeves, because without buybacks, this next fight could go very ugly for them. Heroes like Chaos Knight, Naga Siren, as well as the Dark Tier. Dark Tier especially, I feel, could definitely benefit from having a buyback. If he gets focused down, caught out in the Static Storm, Silence Broker can use his ultimate, or burst down by the Sheep Stick, Fissure, a lot of chain lockdown. We've seen Queen of Pain with his ultimate for some time. The Sheep Stick is coming soon. The question is just how soon, and that's where Harrosh are just hoping that this Queen of Pain is not as farmed as could be. Draken at bottom. He's finally got his next big item. He's got himself an armlet. I say big item, but it's not really that. It's a cost-effective one. 2.7k gold roughly for an armlet, and it's really just sort of going for whatever he can afford. He knows that he's not going to be farming a fast heart. He may be looking at a BKB next, but right now he needs whatever he can get, because he's falling behind further and further every minute. Lifestealer up to nearly 20k net worth now, and I'm guessing Abyssal Blade? Ooh, something else. Something a bit different. Still no Earthshaker Blink though. This Earthshaker has really been struggling. He's hit level 11 now, but the Blink Dagger has not been sighted, and That's one thing which GoG would love to have for these next team fight engagements. As both teams settling back down now, looking to just farm out their own sides of the map, avoid their opponents as much as possible, and especially important for Harrosh. Harrosh, send the Naga illusions constantly to farm out the wave. Something great you can do is just send one to each camp, use the Riptide, and then you've got yourselves a great farming machine with all these illusions. Then you can send some top, push out the top lane as well. We've seen the split push continually happen, and definitely something they want to do more of. And there we go, Lifestealer reveals that item that he was going for. Assault Caress, a full Assault Caress now up on the Lifestealer at the mid lane. Combine that with the attack speed you're getting from a Sanjin Yasha, as well as the bash, the lockdown you're getting from that, and all his attack speed, and boys, there's going to be a lot of damage coming out from him. As Mr. Keo and Draken, Lewis, CK, we haven't seen too much action from them. They have not been getting aggressive, at least not for some time. They're tethered at the mid lane, maybe looking for a hero to show themselves at bottom, mid, or top. Question is, where are they going to find those pickoffs? Where can they? They do find them in Roshan pit. It's going to be too late though. GoG's already taken it ages onto the Lifestealer. He drops his TP scroll, makes space for it, and Harrosh were too late. They go back to split pushing now. Naga Siren constantly pressuring the top lane, and Darksy's been spending some time working away in this bottom lane. So while they do give up Roshan and Aegis, they're making sure that they keep these lanes pushed out. They're not giving their opponents everything to go their way. If they get Aegis and have the lanes pushing out, and then they look to push that 5-man push the mid lane, it's game over. Oh, Lifestealer. Wisp, what are you doing there? Trying to ward, it looks like? I don't know. I'm out of explanation. It looks like he ultied in. I'm not sure what he was trying to achieve. Maybe just do a bit of warding here. It looks like he got caught out though. As Ricardo and War, they're grouping up, looking for that engagement, both with such long-range, fantastic initiations. You've got the hook shot from a Clockwork, where you can always infest the Lifesteal, and then you've got Disruptor with the long-range glimpse cast range, 1800 range on that. If you catch someone out of position, you can bring them back into where you want it to be. You can burst someone down, turn the fight into a 4v5 very, very quickly. Mid lane, the tier 3 tower now being worked away on by Real, and the question is, can Harrosh teamfight this? Can they look to engage? They need to bring back everyone. Naga Siren has been spending too much time split pushing at top lane. Oh, Dark's here. Wall of Replica not really lined up as well as you'd like. Joku on the sides now. Does he have an ultimate? He might maybe looking to finish that with someone else, but it's Earthshaker. Goes in. Ultimate. He's going to get caught out of position. Does get brought down with the Chaos Knife, but elsewhere it's the Lifestealer doing too much damage too quickly. Dark's going to buy back, but doesn't have the ultimate. It's been wasted. That crooked Darkseid Wall of Replica, not really where you'd want to be. And the Rax is now vulnerable. The T3 tower's being brought down. Draken taking a lot of damage here. He's going to get brought back in, trying to bring down War here. Clockwork, double kill to Darkseid. Vacuums two people together. Buyback coming out from Clockwork now. Lifestealer still trying to fight for his life. He's got an Aegis, so he's coming back very shortly. Question is, can he take on these 3-4 heroes on his own? He wants Mr. Keo. He wants his Wisp. Problem is, look at this illusion army. Darkseid's got himself a whole army of his own. He's just trying to disperse down Fisher. The bash is there. He will bring down the Darkseid. Just has to do so. Make it 2. Wisp as well. Can he get a 3rd? Powerhouse. Oh, the Purge. The Purge saves the Naga Siren. Rio going to get to work on the Raxus. What a play from the Lifestealer. He brings down 2 on his own. Almost 3. Gets immediately barracks. This sleep is too late. Rio, well, he's got a rage as well. This is... I don't think you can fight this Lifestealer. Just run. Run for your life. This Lifestealer is like the big bad wolf. He's huffing and he's puffing and he's blowing your axes down. And now, well, no, is he backing off? He wants to find another engagement, and so much gold up his sleeves now with all that. And, well, that was definitely replay worthy. We'll take another quick look at what just happened there. Real, well, he was trying to fight his way out of that as it looked like he was dead. The problem was the Darkseid ultimate expired. There was an illusion army on the Lifestealer, and then bang, it expires, and then suddenly Real's like, oh, there's all these illusions gone. I can just fight my way out of this. Takes down 2 or 3 heroes, and it looks really, really good. Now they're trying to get to work on this range backs at mid lane. They've got it down nice and low. Rio once again on the forefront of the fight and the engagement. He gets down so low, doesn't even Aegis, but he's not even worried right now. He's got so much gold he can just buy back at will. The range barracks are going to go down. Ooh, and Snare. It's going to catch Clockwork. Pops the cogs to try to prevent anyone coming in. Telekinesis brings him outside of the cogs. Rubik, a nice little hero to have against that blade mail being popped. Problem is, Nagasiren does not want to fight into that. Oh, the glimpse into a static storm. Nagasiren now on the run. There is vision coming out from the first kill from the Disruptor. It's actually finished him off. The Lightning Storm gets the kill. Or the Thunder Strike, I should say. And Clockwork going to get caught out now. Harrosh, really, I mean, they're fighting an uphill battle now. They've lost their mid-Raxes. And they're just losing out to this overfarmed Lifestealer. Rial trying to bring down Fissure here. Is there a surge up? Needs to use that soon. And the problem is, well, this glimpse. If he can bring back the Darkseer into the fight, he couldn't actually surge himself because of the BKB.
Is under attack.
That's really, that was the problem there. He couldn't surge himself during BKB, although it did mean he couldn't get slowed. He did manage to get his way out of there, and then followed up with a surge. Disruptor didn't have the vision needed for a glimpse. Problem is, it was a Rax trade. Oh wow, they're going to catch out the with CK as well, catch out the Earthshaker. And Harrosh, I mean, with this Rax trade coming at top lane, they're actually still fighting on equal terms here. Draken now on the run. Whis needs to bring him back. Is there a tether? The tether's on cooldown, it looks like. CK gets left to hang and dry. The game now, I mean, trading mid-Raxes for those top Raxes, well, I think for Harrosh, it's an alright trade. They're still sort of playing from behind, but at least they traded Raxes. They had the Nagasiren constantly pressuring the top lane. They go for the Rax trade, and they would have been even better for them. They wouldn't have even been trading Raxes if it wasn't for that Lifestealer at farm. And speaking of farm, his net worth is just insane. He's doubling almost everyone on this GoG side right now. Age is no longer out. Roshan, well, sometime before he respawns. And it's just going to be brute fighting right for the time being. No use, no going for Roshan, no getting Aegis and Cheese for the next 5 or 6 minutes. And until then, what do the two teams look to do? Nagasiren gets a Radiant, so additional split push, additional damage coming out for the Nagasiren. Bottom lane, we see Queen of Pain with a Sheep Stick completed. Ghost Scepter and Ghost Scepter as well as Aghanim Scepter. He's had these items for some time, but the Sheep Stick's somewhat new. And we'll have to look at this Radiant team pushing out the top lane now. Lifestealer leading the charge with a completed Abyssal Blade. Do the Dire team actually have the ability to bring him down? That's really the big question here. They can just ensnare him. I think that's really the go-to strategy. Ensnare him and then ignore him. Killing him off in these team fights is going to be so challenging. And once again, it's Nagasiren going for a split push at bottom lane. We may be looking at another Rax trade like we saw last time, with Nagasiren at top, while the mid lane got pushed by GoG. This time it's going to be top lane being pushed by GoG, while Nagasiren was at bottom. Maybe going to look to TP back. Depends if Nagasiren thinks that he can defend in time.
Bottom tower
the Illusions working away in this tier 3 tower, and well, get it down to about half HP. Queen of Pain just going to ultimate it because of the Ag Scepter being there, and well, I mentioned Earthshaker is poor. We're still seeing no Blink Dagger at 45 minutes into the game. Powerhouse Nagasiren's had a fantastic time with the farm he's been getting lately. He's finally starting to catch up. I say catch up, not really catch up to the lifesteal, but just catch up sort of to your own personal goals. You just basically need to be setting these milestones. But 45 minutes in, having the items he has, Radiance, Manta, Diffusal, definitely a good place to be. Where this Lifestealer is at is just insane right now. And we're possibly looking at another big item coming up fairly soon on this Lifestealer with the gold he's packing. The issue is for GoG, it's just not an even distribution. You've got the two supports really struggling, and even the Clockwork. No farm whatsoever on him. Vanguard Blade Mail has always had for some time, but he just hasn't have anything that really scales well towards the late game. Your Shiver's Guard, just an Aghanim Scepter, all these sort of luxury items. At 45 minutes, you should be looking at picking up something in terms of a luxury items as that side lane solo, but we haven't got anything on Ward just yet. They're going to push down bottom though, and the split push from Nagasiren isn't quite there yet. Nagasiren working away on this tier 2 mid tower, and maybe we're going to try to use that as leverage to sort of force GoG back, but GoG are going to go high ground. Rial starts working around this tier 3 tower. Oh, open wounds on the King, not going to be able to find the engagement he was hoping for. He's going to have to pop the rage here. Doesn't actually get the tier 3 tower here. Oh, there's a telekinesis, brings Rial back in. Rial needs to be careful. Hookshot's there, they're going to catch up King. Can they bring down King fast enough? King is going to get caught out. Vacuum actually right into the Cogs. Cogs working against GoG. They're right in the middle of this wall here. Earthshaker, can he find an ultimate? It looks like he did manage to sneak his way into the background, but he didn't do any damage whatsoever. BKB is up on the Chaos Line. That's going to help keep him alive in this fight. Disruptor goes down. The problem is, look at this mid lane. Raxus, Nagasiren with the split push, going for the mid Raxus. Not going to succeed in doing so. Queen of Pain not going to catch out Nagasiren. Sleep is there. Brings him down. Lifesteal actually getting caught out as well. Lifesteal had to buy back. Just self-defense. Powerhouse actually gets brought back by Disruptor Glimpse. Oh my gosh, it's Disruptor. This Disruptor is keeping GoG in the game.
Radiant's middle
What looks like Naga Siren escaping. You pop the Song of the Siren, you TP out, great. Not great when there's Disruptor on the field. Once again, the Glimpse countering this Naga Siren so well. Immediate buyback coming from the Naga Siren now. Want to get right back into split pushing, right straight back into applying some pressure. We're seeing such another close game. Our first match between Awake and Pacific was right down to the wire as well, and here we are, 47 minutes in, 40 kills to 39. Both teams with Raxus down, and well, neither team with a clear advantage. Harrosh are doing much better as far as the overall split push goes, but it's GoG who are winning most of the team fight engagements. But the problem is, every time they're forced to retreat. They're forced out to defend this Naga Siren push. And speaking of neither team with an advantage, look at this goal graph. Almost dead even. At 48 minutes, this is pretty much a dead even goal graph. XP as well. Nothing separating the two teams. But if we look closer in detail, it is, as mentioned, very top and bottom heading for GoG. For Harrosh, they've got a much more well-rounded team. A lot of farm on CK, Darkseer as well as Naga Siren. Even the supports are doing decently. Rubik's had this Blink Dagger as well as 4-star for some time. Then you've got the Wisp. Wisp with a Ghost Scepter, Arcane Boots, Urn, Ogre Club as well. So a lot of farm on these dire supports. Radiant supports, so poor. Earthshaker still with just a 2k net worth, doesn't have his Blink Dagger up. And then GoG. Well, that's really the big issue for them. I don't know how... That last fight, Earthshaker somehow got to the backgrounds and got an ultimate up. I don't know how he does that without having a Blink Dagger, but hey, something worked in his favor, although he did almost no damage at all with it. At this point, it's not enough. Ooh, Rocket gonna go flying in. Not gonna scout too much out here. GoG, what's the plan here? Uh-oh. Definitely a tough position to be in for GoG. Fighting the Song of the Siren. Uh-oh, Earthshaker walks right into 3 heroes. Bursts down to me. Actually gets off an ultimate. That's about 200 damage is all he did. Pipe going to get popped by the Dire team, and it looks like they're going to go in for Roshan here. Can GoG defend this? Can they look to take on this fight? I think with just the Earthshaker down, it's not a key hero for them. They're actually going to keep on spamming these rockets. Look for vision. Try and find where Harrosh are situated. They really need to be basically once again looking to apply that split push. Harrosh, if they can get GoG defending, top and bottom lane. The top lane will push up by itself using these mega melee and range creeps, but all in all, they need to push this bottom lane as well. There we go. Wisp CK. Wisp ultis bottom just to help this split push. They're not looking for a gank, they're just using the relocate to help with this split push, because they know that they get some momentum at bottom lane, and then suddenly GoG, well, they got to defend and push up bottom lane. Could buy some time and space to take out Roshan if they're careful with this. Still an absolute nail biter between these two teams. 40 kills apiece. And we're getting into the very, very late game here. Queen of Pain. Well, Boots of Travel now up, so he's got the ability to buy back and TP right into the fight. Or at least help deal with that split push. And neither team, Roshan's been up for about 3 or 4 minutes, but we haven't seen Roshan fall just yet. It's been really a strong sort of contesting point. Both teams wanting to make sure they're not giving the ability for their opponents to go for it. And this is really another great use of this Boots of Travel for Queen of Pain. Queen of Pain can push out top lane, and then you've got the Boots of Travel to TP back in if needed to contest the Roshan pit. You can TP mid and then have the creeps near enough to the Roshan. Problem is these Naga Siren illusions are constantly pushing this top lane. Queen of Pain, despite her best efforts, dropping a Sonic Wave, doing all you can, is still inside her own base just to try push out this top lane. Where is the life stealer? That's always going to be the big question. This combo here, this is their way in. This is their opening, but Harrosh is not having any of it. They're going to remain backed off for the time being. CK farming at mid lane. When you get this late into the game, it's going to come down to buybacks a lot of the time, as well as just positioning. Who gets a better engagement, and then after that engagement happens, who has buybacks. If you get engaged on Paul, if you have buybacks, you can make up for it. You can buy back and re-engage. But if you get caught out without a buyback, give off a kill, and don't have that buyback to your name, well, then suddenly you find yourself in a lot of trouble. Speaking of trouble, whoa, this is living life on the edge.
With flair.
But it's paying off. It's really paying off. I mean, none of these GoG heroes seem to know where he's positioned right now. The rest of the Harrosh team, well, they're just doing their best to remain hidden. The split push continuing. Nagasar and Illusions. This top lane. Just keep the push on going. Send the Nagasar Illusions. Drop the Riptide. Push out this creep wave. 2 Illusions with Radiance damage as well as the Riptide. Basically takes out this entire creep wave. Still, neither team able to bring down Roshan. And it's been a big hot point, but the Dire team, Harrosh, just do not feel confident in their ability to take it down, even having that Dire side advantage. They're closer to the Roche pit, but they haven't tried to go for it just yet. They've been playing very, very cautiously. Oh, King. He's going to go in. Blinks in, steals the Rocket Blade. They're actually going to bring in with the relocate. They want war. He does actually... Oh, the Disruptor. He glimpses back Chaos Knight. Now they're going to try to bring down the squishy support heroes. Wisp and Rubik. Can they bring him? But the Wisp has tethered up Rubik. That keeps Rubik alive. Oh. You glimpse back to CK. Guess what? You just tether someone else. And look at mid lane. The Nagasar and Illusions are there, getting to work on these Raxes. Radiant team forced to pop a glyph even. Illusions getting to work on this Disruptor. Oh. Almost actually goes down. Forced to pop a Mecha. Queen of Bang going to ultimate this as well. 28 HP on Disruptor. Nagasaren so close with that Illusion micro. The Radiance damage, the Riptide damage you can get, and this is, well, it's bought them enough time to do just this. Harrosh know it. GoG probably know it as well, but they're too late. There's no stopping this. Roshan will go down, and that's really the beauty of this split push. They force heroes to defend mid lane. They almost actually kill the Disruptor in his own base, and as a result, Harrosh can take down Roshan, get themselves Aegis as well as Cheese, I believe. Yep, we're looking at both those 2 items now. And with Aegis up, Draken now doesn't have to save for buyback as much. He can pick up that next big item. Thought we'd maybe be looking at a heart, but possibly something a bit different here coming out for Draken. GoG, it really feels like their back is now for the first time in this game. They're the ones on the defensive. They're the ones who have to constantly defend this split push, constantly have to deal with this. I mean, it's constant harass. It's constant just annoying. It's the backdoor action that's coming in. And oh, Real, what's he doing? He knows this push is coming and he's got to deal with it, even if it's just Illusions. He says it's got to be me who defends. I'm the one with all the damage. Maybe going to be looking at some boots of travel soon on him because he really needs that global mobility to basically push out lanes and then TP back to defend and not have to TP to a building, TP to a creep wave. He can defend and then TP out a lane that's pushing in. So, all in all, well, it's a game that's going to be very hard for GoG to win from here on out. As we will see a bit of a gank coming from the Dire team. As an announcement is going on. Guess what that means? I can talk. That they actually smoked up. The players can't hear me for a minute, so that means I can talk. We're looking at a possible engagement. Lifestealer needs to be careful here at the bottom lane, and uh-oh. Blink, Telekinesis, Ensnare is there as well. Can he get off the raid? This could be trouble. This could be the end for GoG. Real going to fight his way out of this. ES ultimate. He gets off a decent one. Dragon get brought down. He's got an Aegis of the Immortal here. Is that going to be enough for Harrosh? The chase is now on. They want King. King going to get brought down as well. So far it's a 1-for-0 trade as well as an Aegis being used. GoG. Disruptor's still alive. Nagasar and Illusion. Oh, they stopped chasing. They stopped chasing, but elsewhere it's the Lifestealer being brought down. Nagasar changes target, goes for the Lifestealer, brings down the Lifestealer. Earthshaker's on the sidelines. Clockwork as well. Forced to buy back, and now Harrosh, they march forward. They march down this bottom lane. And with just Earthshaker dead, they maybe... I don't know if they can actually do this. Darkseer has no ultimate. They forced 2 buybacks, and this is what I'm talking about with this late game play. Buybacks decided. What looks like a decent fight for Harrosh, well, buybacks basically mean they can't push. They have to retreat. And now we're going to see the Radiant team, GoG, well, they've got to really... I think the main thing for them is just deny Harrosh of map control. Don't let Harrosh know where they can find pickups. When you've got this with CK, if you know a hero's alone, you can go in them. As the 2 teams have backed off and we're in that late game turn mode, we're going to take a look at that last decisive battle, which did go the way of Harrosh, but it did not seem that went as convincingly as they could have. Nice little engagement, I've got to say. They did manage to sort of basically waste I say waste, but they used Draken's Aegis to make sure that they got themselves off to a good start. Earthshaker didn't do too much damage, and from there on out, well, the fight went pretty well for Harrosh. They brought down the Lifesteal, they brought down the Clockwork. Disruptor couldn't do enough damage. This is really the problem for GoG. All their damage is coming from 2 heroes, Queen of Pain and Lifestealer. If those 2 heroes, if even one of those 2 heroes goes down, they're doing basically all their damage output is cut in half. The rest of their team, the Clockwork, the Earthshaker, the Disruptor, all they offer is some crowd control, some stuns, some AoE silence in the form of the Disruptor, the initiation from the Clockwork, but there's no actual damage. Look at this dire side, they've got 4 heroes who can do a lot of damage. Chaos Knight, Naga Siren, the Darkseid with his ultimate, and even Rubik. If Rubik steals himself a good spell like a Sonic Wave, he's doing a lot of damage in these team fights. So having 4 late game DPS dealing heroes is going to be huge for Harrosh. Whereas the Radiant team, GoG, all their money is in the baskets of this Queen of Pain as well as Lifestealer. No additional damage really coming from any of these other heroes. And just look how poor this Clockwork's getting. Being forced to buy back this late in the gold, it's 1,500 gold that you throw into those buybacks, and that is really not something some of these heroes can afford. Look at the network really struggling on heroes like Clockwork as a result of these buybacks. He wants to get these big items in the late game, even just like Ghost Scepter at this point. Ghost Scepter would be a fantastic pickup to have against the Chaos Knight and Naga Siren, but he's just too poor. Forced to use late game buybacks, and that just chews through his gold so quickly. Draken now. That's what he was going for with all this gold. The Assault Crest is there, and I think with this item, the team fight looks a whole lot better for Harrosh. That's what we saw them that last fight at bottom lane. Having the Assault Crest or definitely help provide some additional armor as well as make the Lifestealer a lot more killable. King having this blink and force up. He's also got himself a Vlad, so just late game auras. +5 armor to your whole team as well as the bonus damage that you're getting from this really helps out. 43 to 41. What's he solo now? How about to say he'd love to steal a Rage? Well, he's done so. 6-second BKB in the late game as a Rubik. Definitely worthwhile. CK going to go in on Riel. Riel does he have a bio? I don't think he actually does here. Invest inside. Static Storm is there. Darkseid's got a great wall of replica off, and this is not looking good. Earthshaker, as per tradition, goes down first, and now the problem is going to surmount. Riel on the sidelines trying to just light himself back up to Blight feet. The stolen Sonic Wave brings down the Lifestealer. Double kill for Rubik. The Rubik steal was just too much there. King with some big late game plays on the Rubik. This is what I've been talking about. That late game Rubik can do a lot of damage there, especially when you steal a spell like the Sonic Wave. 30-second cooldown, and boy, is this not looking good for GoG. The bottom Raxes, the mid Raxes, Mega Creep's probably going to come the way of Harrosh now. It took them 60 minutes, but it looks like they've done it. They've finally broken down GoG. GoG had that great start. They had some fantastic team fights, and this Disruptor especially has played some phenomenal Dota. He's really played amazing. Lifestealer as well, doing a lot of damage this game, but this Disruptor has really had some big plays, and to me, even though they lost this game, GoG's Disruptor in some ways was the MVP for me. Some of those glimpses on the Naga Siren, when Naga Siren was trying to sleep TP out, some of the glimpses on the Wisp relocated heroes was just absolutely insane, but when push came to shove, Harrosh had a more well-rounded lineup. Going into the late game, they had 2 carries, they had 2 utility heroes in Darkseid and Rubik with a lot of farm. The Radiant team just did not have the items they needed. You had Earthshaker with no Blink Dagger. 60 minutes without a Blink Dagger on the Earthshaker just proved to be too much of a deficit. You had Clockwork, who didn't really have any farm, and it was too much. It was too much coming from Harrosh, and you had too much relying on the Lifestealer as well as the Queen of Pain. Queen of Pain would get focused down. Lifestealer, he got kited around, and all in all, well, Harrosh advanced. They're going to go through the next round of the winner bracket here at the Armaggeddon Asia Dota 2 Grand Slam. Well, GoG, they're still in the tournament. There's a loser bracket for them to fight in. Thanks everyone for tuning in on the live stream. Thanks everyone who's come down to the Marina Bay Sands Convention Center to check out the live action here. Big thanks, of course, all the sponsors here. We'll be back soon with more live action. I'm God from Beyond the Summit, and we'll be back soon with more live action here at the Armageddon Dota 2 Asia Grand Slam.